No, you're fine. Hey there, welcome back to In My Mama's Kitchen. I'm Jeff, and this is
Mama.
Tonight we are going to be making some pork chops and fried potatoes and broccoli and gravy. Not for the broccoli, but for the fried potatoes and pork chops.
Yeah, I mean, delicious, heart healthy. Well, okay. It's
Carb healthy.
freezing outside. This is comfort food, and we haven't had pork chops in a while, and we got some beautiful bone-in pork chops. Bone-in pork chops, not born-in pork chops. Born-in pork chops. There you go. Anyway, we're going to get these all fixed up, and I've just been cutting up some potatoes. So I'm just going to continue with this little knife here that we got from the Pioneer Woman. Is that what this is?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, the Pioneer Woman. It's great. We fight over who gets to. I guess we should probably go buy another one. Huh?
Most likely. All right, all I'm doing is I'm putting some vegetable oil in the bottom of this pan, just enough to pretty much coat the bottom.
And I just take a potato and I'll cut it in half, as you can see, and then I cut it like in fourths.
Oh, I'll do a close up here.
Okay. Okay, so I cut a potato in half, and then I cut it into 4 pieces here, like this. Okay, and then I just take it and just dice it. And it goes everywhere.
Y'all, if y'all have never had fried potatoes, oh.
Well, then you must not live in the South.
Exactly.
It's like a staple.
I grew up cooking fried potatoes and eating fried potatoes that were cooked in a cast iron skillet.
With lard.
With lard.
Yeah, that's when they're really good, when you cook them with lard.
Look at these pork
That's
chops.
why they say, lordy, lardy.
4 beautiful thick.
We having
About an inch thick.
company?
No. 2.76 pounds, $8.80. But just
Not a bad
yum.
price.
And there's just something about bone-in pork chops that give it more flavor than boneless.
I like to, gnaw on the bone. I'll just be real honest with you. It's just that they always say the meat is sweeter next to the bone, and it's true. It really is. It's yummy.
Now, you want to get your oil really hot. I'm not using a cast iron pan. I'm using a non-stick pan. I found out that
I'm eating potatoes. Sorry.
they get a better crust.
Mm-hmm.
And the cool thing is you will have leftovers, and all you just do is reheat them back up in a little bit of oil.
Don't use oil.
No?
Put them in your non-stick pan.
Mm-hmm.
The oil that's still left on them, you don't need any, if you add more,
Yeah.
it messes them up.
Huh.
So just put them in a pan and cook them.
Now right here I've got a plate with about a cup of flour on it. I'm going to season my flour with about a teaspoon of salt and a whole lot of pepper.
We like pepper.
It's about a teaspoon
We
and a
like
half.
lots of pepper.
A little bit of seasoned salt. About half teaspoon. And a little bit of garlic. About a quarter to a half teaspoon. Here's the thing.
Shake it over it.
When you're seasoning for anything, and especially if you're doing something that's coated, like you're frying something that's coated, usually that up.
I am just going to turn it
Oh,
over.
thank you. You want to season your layers so everything has flavor. So I've got the seasoned flour. I'm going to season the pork chops, and then we're going to fry them.
And I'm going to season the potatoes with some salt. And then after they go in, we'll add salt again. And then we'll probably add salt again because for some reason potatoes just suck
up salt.
They really do.
And if you don't think you like garlic, try it on the pork chops. Pork loves garlic. They're so complementary together.
And garlic is good for you. It really is.
It really is.
Are you going to do, are you going to do like an egg mixture to put them in?
No. I'm just doing straight
Really?
seasoned flour.
Okay.
My mom taught me this.
Really?
Yes. You.
Yeah, I know who your mom is.
It's like I ain't
I
got
haven't
any other.
cooked pork chops in a long time.
Have you liked the pork chops I've been cooking?
Yeah.
This is how I do them.
Another way you can do them, we're going to do this, it's called crumb chicken, crumb steak, or crumb pork chops. And you put an egg mixture, just, break a couple of eggs, stir them up. Yeah, those are big. And then you use salt and pepper, and you dip them in the egg mixture, and then you put them in breadcrumbs.
Ooh.
And back and forth a couple of times and then you put them in butter. Not oil, you cook them in butter. No, butter. butter. And, oh my gosh, it's really, really delicious. Those
it
are
actually
ready.
needs just a little bit more.
And then they won't be ready.
I know. That's what I was trying to say. Wait. Now, my mother also taught me the best way to tenderize pork chops. You can use a meat mallet.
Yeah, you have one.
But use the edge of a plate. This is a plastic plate.
You want to know what I used to use when you were little?
What?
A Coke bottle.
Huh.
Yep, just the top of the Coke bottle.
And you're just going to just stab it down.
I did that for steak, pork chops, chicken.
And then you're going to change directions, like a crisscross pattern.
Wise lady, your mama.
I know, right?
Okay, those are ready. Let me
Put
put
them
them
in.
It's going to splatter everywhere, and I just cleaned the stove. So you just try to... That's a lot of potatoes. Are you sure we're not having
Good Lord.
company?
I only peeled 3. Well, of course they were
Those are big. Probably only needed 2.
big-ass potatoes.
Yeah.
Well, what we'll do is we'll reheat them tomorrow, and I'll make biscuits, and we'll have leftover gravy. So I'll have biscuits and gravy,
Putting in
potatoes,
some
and
more
eggs.
salt, pepper this time, which I didn't do on the other side. And I'm going to add a little bit of seasoned salt to it because seasoned salt makes everything taste good. And then put the lid on.
We'll stir that around.
Stir it around first. Okay.
You stir it and then put the lid on. Now, what this is going to do when you put the lid on your potatoes that are frying, that is going to help them. It'll steam them
And soften them.
and soften them up.
Yeah. And then you take the lid off after a while and let them cook, and that's when they get crispy, golden,
Oh.
crunchy, delicious. It's the good part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, these are Cinderloin chops.
Oh.
So that would be the whole tenderloin right there, but it's still got the bone on it, a little bit of fat.
Do you want
Sure.
oil? Just regular oil?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
A little bit more. You want to lightly cover the bottom.
Well, I was going to see how much I had on there before. I don't want to add too much.
Well, I'm already telling you. It's
I can tell.
not enough.
I can tell.
Sorry for the noise.
You should be. You should have already done that.
No, well, I wanted to show them what I'm doing.
Well, you could have just saved one to do. I know, I'm being bossy.
You're being mom.
I'm being bossy. And the Olympics have started. I'm so excited.
Celebrity Big Brother started. Amazing Race has started.
Yeah, going from nothing to watch on TV to
Everything.
everything.
And then we're binge watching Arrow at the same time.
Yeah, that's good.
And then we're going to do Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Which I've already seen, but you haven't.
And then we're going to do Charmed, which I've already seen, but she hasn't.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I'm
That's
going
what
to
you do when it's cold outside. I mean, we're in Texas. It's not supposed to be this cold. Little salt.
So I'm seasoning these with the same seasonings I put in my flour.
You didn't do that last one, did you?
Huh?
That one over
And
there?
I'm going to turn these over. I season all at the same time.
I know, but I didn't see you put any salt on that last one. Is what I was saying.
Yes, I did.
Okay. I didn't see it go on there.
And you can be generous with the salt, unless you're not supposed to be generous with the salt.
Yeah.
Because pork takes it.
And not too much.
You season to your own tastes.
Not too much. Oh, I should probably turn this on.
No.
No.
Because those potatoes are going to take a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show
okay.
them how to season these, and then come
Okay.
back, and then I'll bread them and drop them in the fryer.
Oh.
Or the
Okay.
pan fryer.
In the pan.
Yeah. So you just season?
Yeah. And you want them to be room temperature when you
Yes.
put them in.
Otherwise, the meat goes.
The meat shrinks up and it's not a good thing.
It's called shrinkage. If you know, you know.
So, potatoes are going.
Hey, they've seen Seinfeld.
Yeah, the
go
broccoli,
lightly.
the broccoli doesn't take long either. It takes about 15 minutes total.
All right, so I'm going to let these sit out.
Yep.
And then we'll be back.
Yes, we will.
All right, welcome back. Mom is stirring up the fried potatoes. I've got the oven preheating to 250 degrees because I'm going to go ahead and fry the pork chops and then put them in there to keep them warm. They'll stay crispy and everything. And then I'll make the gravy. That way it all comes together at the same time.
That was the hardest thing for me to learn as a young cook, was getting everything ready at the same time. Something would be too hot, something would be too cold, and we didn't have microwaves back in my day, believe it or not, when I was a young bride. So
Is that when y'all rode dinosaurs to school?
yes,
Uphill both ways?
both ways, in the snow.
In the
Yeah,
snow.
yeah.
I just got a really old cookie sheet with a wire rack on it that'll allow air to circulate.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now I've got my seasoned flour. I'm going to take my pork chop. I'm just going to use my hands
Okay.
because they're clean. I just washed them. And you want to press them down into the flour. This is not a chicken fried steak breading or country fried steak breading. It's just breading.
Just flour.
And believe it or not, it'll still get a good crust on it. I'm just pressing the flour into it and then setting it over here.
This is starting to get hot.
Good. It needs to.
Sizzling. And a good way to test that and see if it's hot enough is you just drop a little bit of flour in there, and guess it's not hot enough.
You can also take a
Wooden spoon.
and
Stick
put
it
the
in
end in there, and if it boils and bubbles around the bottom of the spoon.
Well, it is, but that's right in the middle.
Yeah.
On the side, well, it's starting to. Not on the top. It's funny. It's right on the bottom and the middle. Let me turn it a little bit.
Now, a lot of people that I've served these to like this because it's not a heavy breading.
Right.
It doesn't make you feel, oh. You know,
But it's really good.
sometimes chicken fried steak, the breading can just be so much. If you're an amateur. It's not too much. And this is not a fried chicken type coating. I say that because there are some people that have no idea what chicken fried steak is. Yes, I've had people ask me that.
Well, if you've ever had Kentucky Fried Chicken, that crispy, crunchy, not the original, but the crispy kind, that's what you get on a steak to make it a chicken fried steak. And that's, predominant in the South, along with black-eyed peas. We had a friend visiting from New York, had never heard of black-eyed peas, let alone had any. And so he was quite that, and we made fried okra.
I cooked for some people in from New York.
Yeah.
And they wanted a traditional Texas dinner, so I made chicken fried steak and mashed potatoes and gravy and, home-cooked green beans and all that. And they were beside themselves. They'd never heard or seen of anything except for mashed potatoes and green beans.
We had some people come over from Europe one time. And
I'm just going to dust them off and drop them in the oven. I can only do two at a time because these are big.
Yeah. Anyway, we had some people come in, and they were from Europe, and so we took them home, and I had a roast cooking all day, and so we had roast and mashed potatoes and green beans and the roast gravy and rolls and everything, and they ate. They spoke just enough English to say yum up to several times. And so they'd never had anything like that over in. One was from England, one was from France, and they were super nice gentlemen.
Now, don't touch them. When you put them in, the first thing you do is you want to turn them and touch them. No, your breading will stick to the bottom of the pan. You want to let them sit
Just
for a
leave
good
them alone.
couple of minutes. These need to cook 4 to 5 minutes on each side. Let me wash my hands.
I'm notorious for wanting to stir things
Yes.
and move things around. So he has to tell me all the time, Mom, stop. And I
So-
know better, but I just like to do
For
it.
those of you that comment that I'm rude to my mother, it's just because I know her.
Did somebody comment
Yeah.
that? Oh, no, we're playing. Trust me, we're always playing and cutting up.
I may be 6'4". She may be 5'4". She'd kick my butt.
Nah.
Yes.
But I don't need to. He
No,
takes
'cause I
really
know better.
good care of me.
But
We love each other.
we love each other. No, I know how she is. I know her methods. Some days OCD Annie is here.
Yeah, not so much today.
Not today.
I did go on a little bit of a cleaning spree, but not totally.
Well, we clean while we cook.
Yeah,
That way when we get done, we don't have a huge mess.
true.
And so we're not sitting there stuffed from dinner and saying,
Going,
oh.
where's the maid?
Now, I just used flour to bread these. But if y'all noticed, I just threw that flour away.
Yes,
I'm going to be making gravy
but not with that flour.
because I know it's going to be cooked, but it did touch the marinade. It touched the raw pork. And also, it's more seasoned than I want it to be.
It's especially true if you're working with chicken. You don't want to use anything that's done with chicken. You could get away with this, with using pork.
Well,
but
no,
it's
because
too
I don't want that
seasoned.
much. I don't want the
You
garlic.
don't want that
and the
much
gravy.
garlic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but I meant as far as cleanliness goes, you could get away with it, but not if you're breading chicken, you want to throw that away for sure. You want to look at the the potatoes?
If the handle act up. Hold, please.
So right now they're just kind of getting soft. Okay, see that where you can just cut through like that.
Yeah. So now we can leave
So
the
now
lid
we can
off.
leave the lid off, and then leave and not stir them anymore. Okay.
Sorry, all over my damn shirt.
I know. I was trying to get it off of you. And so then we're just going to leave that like that and let them
Start to brown.
start to brown.
Yeah, because if you keep the lid on them too much longer, they're going to turn to mashed fried potatoes.
Yeah, they'll just be mush.
Look at those.
I know. Now.
I'm going to check. Almost.
Almost.
See, this is where they are. Almost. You want them a little bit darker. You want more color.
Okay. I'm going to get the broccoli water ready.
Broccoli water, that sounds nasty. Sounds like something you get at a health place.
Broccoli water?
Broccoli water.
Yeah, you just need
I sent you a
Yes,
TikTok.
I saw that. There's a TikTok describing broccoli, and that broccoli, cauliflower, kale, kohlrabi, cabbage, all
Brussels
of that.
sprouts.
Yeah, it's all one plant.
All the same plant.
Who knew?
This guy did.
He did. I didn't know that.
And I looked it up because everything you read on the internet is true. So I looked it up and verified it through 5 or 6 different sources.
Yeah, that's what Abe Lincoln said.
Yeah, exactly.
Believe everything on the internet. So,
All right,
yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and turn these, and because I can finish browning them afterwards, I just want y'all to see.
Oh, I could still use a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd leave that other one in there for just a little bit longer.
Okay. The mother has spoken. All right, so we'll be right back. So the first two pork chops are done, and I've got another 2 in.
Ooh, look at these
I know,
taters.
hold on, wire caught.
Look at that.
And I just did the first flip on the potatoes. Look at that crust.
Oh, yum.
Ah. So these are going to cook, and then we'll come back and start the gravy. All right, Mom's going to drop the broccoli. The fried potatoes are almost done. The pork chops are in the oven on 250. I've got about 3 tablespoons of grease in here. So I'm going to add 3 heaping tablespoons of flour. And whisk this around. Guys, I've made gravy many times on here, or we've made gravy. If you want close-ups of it, go check out the other videos. I'll try to link it in the box. I'm just cooking the gravy, making a roux. And again, you want equal parts flour and fat. And you just cook it until it's good and toasty brown to cook the rawness out.
I thought it deserved a close-up here. Look at that.
And I'm just whisking it. Actually, I'm just a touch more flour because it's a little too runny. You want it a good, almost a paste consistency.
Like that, yeah. And you want to cook it till it's, like you said, cooks that flour taste out of it. Otherwise, it tastes like
raw flour. See how you run through and it leaves little, almost like a lacy streak. That's what you're looking for. So I'm just going to cook this for a couple of minutes. And pepper.
And salt.
And sneeze.
And you salt and pepper your roux, and then when you add your milk, you salt and pepper again.
Now you salt, pepper, and seasoned salt.
Because you put seasoned salt in everything. Probably would in ice cream if you made it.
Hey, I don't put seasoned salt in my oatmeal.
Okay, you do pepper.
So we did find one thing. Oh yeah, I do put pepper. I've done a video on that.
Okay.
Check out these potatoes.
I was going to look. That's what I was, great minds think alike. Look at that.
Look at those crusty bits. That's what you're wanting. That dark brown crusty.
Oh, those are so good. And we've got the broccoli going, so we do have something healthy.
These things are like French fries on crack.
Yeah, they're really, really good.
Now the flour is starting to cook, and it's toasting it as it cooks it. And it's starting to get darker, and it brings out the nuttiness of the flour.
And then all the little crispy bits that were left from the
get scraped
pork
up.
chop.
Yep.
Deglazing the pan there.
Look at you.
No. I learned a few things from watching cooking shows. Oh, that looks delicious right there.
Yep. Now I'm going to add some milk.
Yep. I'm going to get out of the way so I don't bump you and get splashed.
It's going to splatter.
Well, you know, if you would like pour it up into a mixing bowl thing and then pour
it'll
it
still
in.
splatter. Now I'm going to add some cream. You see how quickly it thickens.
It looks like a lumpy mess.
It does. But as the flour absorbs the liquid, it will break back up. Because I need to add more milk.
More milk. See, I do the milk first.
I did milk first.
No, I mean a lot of it. And then I add cream at the last.
If I do too much milk first, I always get lumps. This way I don't. Okay. I know this sounds weird, but...
It's to each his own.
And you like my gravy.
Yeah, I love your gravy.
All right, then.
That's why you're making it and I'm not. I do make some pretty good gravy, though.
Yes, you do. Especially your brown gravy.
My water gravy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I make hamburger steaks, and rice, and gravy. And I'll do the roux like he did, and then I'll add water to it, which makes it into like a brown kind of gravy. And it's delicious, too.
Now, I'm making a lot of gravy tonight. This way we'll have some for tomorrow for breakfast. Kill two birds with one stone.
There you go.
I've got my heat on medium. I'm going to raise it up just a little bit.
And what do you need to add now?
Well, I'm going to let it thicken up a little bit.
Before
then I'm going
you add it?
Taste it, and then I'll check for seasonings.
See, I always add it because the milk needs it.
With the salt?
Salt and pepper. I do. You don't have... You're making this gravy. You do it the way you want to. I'm just telling you how I do it.
This is called black pepper gravy.
It's yummy.
And it's not overpoweringly.
No, it really isn't. Look how it just absorbs into that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I know.
I thought I was making this gravy.
Jesse robbed this drain. Well, you said you were going to taste it first, and you didn't.
Well, because... Woman?
What?
Kill me, Alice.
We do have fun, don't we?
Yeah, that's what we call it.
Hey, I think since it's going to be cold all weekend long, I think what we need to do is make some chili and show the different ways we put the chili. Like we make chili mac, chili rice, and Frito chili pie. That would be a fun thing to do.
That'll work.
We could do that this weekend.
All right, now see how this is already thickening up?
Look at that. Yeah. It's not ready yet.
No.
But it's getting there.
I'm checking for seasonings.
It's not quite ready. It's not quite gravy yet.
Mm.
Delish.
Perfect.
Perfect. See, we know what we're doing.
Yes, we know what we're doing.
How's my broccoli doing over there? Is it boiling yet?
It's almost.
Okay.
It's burbling. These taters.
I think those, I turn them down a little bit.
Yeah, because they're done.
Yeah. Oh, you bet.
And we got some
You're
jumpers.
letting them escape. Help me! Help me! Yeah. And look at this. Look at this. I just cleaned that, and look at all the flour and stuff all over everywhere. I love it.
Okay, that's dead.
We need to change the name to In My Mama's Kitchen to In My Messy Kitchen.
Or In My Mama's Kitchen. Mom, making a mess again.
Yeah. Well, you can buy it honestly.
Now look how this is thickening up the rest of the flour, is absorbing the liquid.
Yep.
I'm shaking like a bowl of Jell-O. Don't watch me shake.
Oh, goodness.
Now everyone's like, oh, I like that really white gravy.
No.
It's not fully cooked. And if you go to a restaurant and they serve you really white gravy.
It's usually from a mix.
Yeah. Yeah, this is thickening up really, I mean.
Yeah.
And so it needs more milk.
No.
Oh, yes.
It's perfect.
No, it's not. As it cools off, it'll thicken up even more, congeal.
I know. And then it'll be more like paste.
Like a Harry Potter spell. Congelatum. Yeah, it'll be more like paste. Yeah, see, because it's still...
Yeah, just a little bit.
I know what I'm doing.
Oh, my gosh. But I like it thick.
It will be thick. It just... Okay, up on me, please. When you're making gravy, if it starts to thicken too quickly,
yes,
that means there's too much flour and not enough liquid. So your final product is going to be like paste.
Okay.
Like that lady said in the video, you have to cut it with a knife.
Yeah.
You have to slice it. What you want is you want to keep it at the consistency you want it, because as this cools, it will thicken even more. And I can tell by running my whisk through it that I got too much flour. So it's really, really absorbing. Your broccoli's boiling.
And the funny thing is, it's supposed to. It's going to need to boil for about 5 minutes. The funny thing is about making gravy is it's a feel thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can say how much to add, and you can say how long to cook it, but it's really a feel thing. And as you make it, the first few times you're probably going to throw it out till you get good at it.
I was instructed incorrectly growing up. Because my father thought you had to cook it for like an hour, low and slow, and stirring constantly. And
yes, he did.
It took me 20 years before I figured it out. Now it's, I mean, always did it the wrong way. And I can tell.
He made good gravy, though.
He did, but it took him an hour.
Yeah.
But I can tell from the resistance in here that this still needs just a little bit more milk, and I can still see a little bitty chunks of it. I'm not ruining it. This is how I make it all the time, woman,
all right.
But you eat it and love it. But I will have to adjust the seasonings because I've added more milk.
Mm-hmm. Probably want to turn it back up if you turned it down, didn't you?
No, I turned it up.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, Dad would turn it down to low and cook it for an hour.
And then he made fish gravy one time.
Fish gravy. Oh, God. You got to tell that story.
Oh, you tell it.
Was it salmon patties?
It was salmon patties.
My dad was just in the habit of making gravy for everything.
Yeah.
And rest his soul and bless his soul. This man, he'd make hamburger steaks. He'd make a brown gravy for it. He'd make chicken fried steaks. He'd make a white gravy for it.
Fried chicken had gravy.
Fried chicken, he made gravy.
Everything had gravy.
So one night, he's making salmon patties, which we're going to do next week and film it for you.
Yes.
And Mom walks in the kitchen. So, Jim Weaver, what are you doing? He goes, I'm making gravy.
I said, for the salmon?
Yeah.
Really?
And then then it hit him.
No. He said, I always make
gravy.
gravy.
Oh, yeah, I always make gravy.
I said, not for salmon.
Not
we
for
usually
fish,
put,
dear.
Ketchup or tartar sauce on it.
And he goes,
yeah.
you could just see the look on his face. It was nasty.
He was determined, though. He brought it to the table, and he put a little bit on the first salmon patty, and then he was like, oh, okay, you're right. And he jumped and ran to the sink and poured it down the sink. But it was funny. So we teased him forever about his fish gravy.
Like we tease Mom about her green
dressing.
Thanksgiving dressing.
Yeah. That is looking so much better.
See how? Yeah. See, I told you.
Yeah, I know.
If I hadn't added more milk, it'd have been
a paste.
Clump of paste.
Yes.
All right. So as soon as the broccoli's ready, we'll be back. All right. So we are making our plates.
Yes.
Checking them twice.
Yes, we are. A little bit of butter on there. Oh,
No.
and then gravy.
See, we got something healthy.
1 out of 3 ain't bad, huh?
Now me,
Ah.
I put gravy all over my taters and my pork chop.
Mm-hmm.
Now these are half-pound pork chops.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Well, I have to have a bite.
Okay.
Just to see how.
And you don't have to cook pork bone dry anymore.
Look at that.
Let's get close up of the juicy.
Mm-hmm.
Push down with your knife. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's juicy.
Mm. It's very moist. Mm-hmm.
Sorry for those of you that hate the M word. There's
Very
some
good.
people that hate that word.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Moist.
Like
you say
clown?
moist, and they shudder.
Mm.
Oh, look at little Miss Thumb
Those
over
potatoes.
here.
Okay.
She had herself a bath yesterday. She's already tried to mess herself up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I need gravy and we're good.
Well, I got to do a taste test.
Oh, okay. Well, let me hold it for you. Oops, there it goes. Going crazy. Here. Gotcha.
Let me get my fork and knife. Oh. Knife and fork. Knife and fork.
Okay.
Now I'm ambidextrous, so I can cut it this way, or I can cut it this way.
Mm-hmm.
I was born left-handed, but my first grade teacher forced me to write right-handed because we didn't have any left-handed desks. So now I can do everything left-handed except right.
Isn't that good?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect on a
Mm-hmm.
cold, wet evening.
Like tonight.
That's what I meant. Okay, guys, I think we're going to go.
And I gave Mom most of the crusties on the potatoes.
Oh, you're so sweet. You can take a bite of those.
Mm.
I know. Those are to die for. They're so good.
Mm.
So that's it for us for this evening.
Guys, please like, subscribe, send us your requests as what to cook.
We already got some things planned out for this week, but we're always looking for new ideas. So I have to have some gravy on.
And share with your friends. We just did a collaboration video, and with 16 other or 15 other creators, and went really well. We're looking at planning another one. So give us your ideas. You have a great night. Love y'all. God bless.